Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. That was a very strange opening, but let's go. Oh, hold on, let me do this.
Oh, God said if you eat from the forbidden fruit you will perish, which was a lie. It was the serpent that actually spoke the truth.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So I think it all falls down to choice. It has really nothing to do about God at this point.
Why do
I just noticed how difficult this is actually to do.
And
Wait,
God is like a
hold on.
Okay, so
when
God,
it comes to the decision of man.
okay, in Christianity, we do not have to do anything. The work has already been done. All we
Hold up, because I'm gonna figure this out. Give me a second. Also, I was thinking about gaming or something, and studs. Really, I can just have this on in background. It doesn't have to be full reaction either. You know, because I was gonna do some art on here. It would double for the Instagram, but at the same time, I kinda don't want to do that. Kinda want to. Hold up.
need to do is to accept what Christ has done for us, which is the death, the burial, and the resurrection, and the accept.
Man, it's just silly. It's just silly. Let's do this. Accept it all. I'm not gonna make it through this video. I'm just gonna talk about a couple of things that I'm just okay, and then I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. Because I already am just listening to this and I'm ugh. And it's just sad living with these kinds of people. They're so mentally disturbed. It really shows you just how mentally disturbed a lot of people are, bro. Dude, this is odd.
Attention of Jesus.
So why
Christ.
do we still pay tithes if we don't have to do anything?
I'm probably only gonna make it to 10 minutes of this, dude.
My name is Thomas Ogun and I'm an atheist and I'm here to challenge 20 Christians.
Yo, D, what you think?
Hold on, what is this?
My
Gideon
first
did
claim
something?
is God makes mistakes.
If you like to debate this claim, please raise your hand.
There's this girl that I feel does a better job at talking about this quicker and less time. God is real. This is what I want him to.
You said that God makes mistakes. What is your claim based on? Is there any mistake that you believe that God, has made?
Yes.
Racism. God created that, so that's really weird. I'm telling you, you say that to people and they will instantly just freak out. They're they refuse to just be no, it's not real. It's not a real true thing. It's yes, it is. These are people who are black and dark skinned, and I'm dude, are we not complected the same? What are you talking about? Racism's not it's not real. Dude, what are you talking about right now? Are we not lower middle class? Are you not working a job as a female? Not even to use that word in that way. It's just are you not working as a woman? There's a lot of people who literally just woke up and they don't work. They don't have to. They just had generational wealth. And you can say oh, well, it's that's a thing that's tied to no, it's not even really tied to a racial thing. It's a class thing. People who were most harmed and most affected by the American class system are still to this day struggling. It doesn't matter what color they are, what look they have, or anything really. It's in general, if you're still struggling and you're and you're not black, it's at that point you're really you're getting unlucky as hell. You're just unlucky. Which I do believe that for some people. I believe some people are just extremely, extremely unlucky when it comes to that kind of thing. But in general, there are like literally things set in place to make it so that you like fail. And like, it's so odd because it's like, if you just deconstructed it, bro, I cannot react to this video. I'm sorry. It's like making me, it's rage baiting me. I can't react to it. I can't. Like I said, I'm gonna play this instead, man. I'm gonna play this video of this girl instead because I cannot do that, bro. I'm sorry. It's rage baiting me, bro. It's rage
There's a very
me.
common question that Christians ask me, and that question is, what are you gonna do if you're wrong? What are you gonna do if you're wrong and then you die and then you're faced with God? What are you gonna say to him? There's also different variations I get of this. Some of them are a question like, will you beg God for mercy? Then sometimes I get statements of, you will beg God for mercy. And the first thing I want to say, well, it's all basically the same thing, is what if you're wrong, right? That's the gist of it. First thing I'll say is, I don't think I'd beg for mercy, because I know how this works. If the system is already set up
you're
in
not
a
even
way where
gonna.
I'm gonna burn
It
in hell
doesn't
for
do
disbelief
anything for you, anyways.
in a god,
You
or
can
because
beg
I'm
for
a flawed
forgiveness.
human,
It's
it
like,
depends on the
dude.
Christian you ask.
Apparently, you
why
have to
would I
like
suddenly
dedicate your
perform
entire
desperation?
life or
The
whatever.
system is the
Otherwise,
system. I'm
like, it
damned.
doesn't
I'm gonna
work. The system was just set up just like that. And nowadays, I feel like the system's set up to separate our families. That's all they're trying to do now. They're trying to separate and split our families in half. But I think I have like a lucky pull in terms of like, I don't think I was destined to be like lower class in the slightest. I just feel like there is just so much more for me. But the people that I'm like around, I don't know about that. Like, I can only hope for the best for them. But it's like, in reality, like, dude, for me personally, I'm not going out like this. I'm not about to be like questioning or denouncing my blackness in any way, shape, or form to try to cope with the system that we're living in. But yeah, people around me that are quote unquote like family and things, they do it. So I'm like, feel bad for them for feeling that like low self-esteem, that they can't even like understand the nuances and things of like racism that happen. They can't even like accept that, like, well, yeah, no, there are bad things that happen to us for no reason. They can't accept that. So instead of accepting it, they try to like play into whiteness. But it's like, dude, you're dark. You're never gonna be that way. And even if you tried to be that way, even if you tried to like in some way try to extend, you can't. Only like I guess your kids would be able to attempt to do that unless you lighten yourself, which I just think is very sad. It's like, literally, it's like either fight for the cause or go destroy your bloodline. That's like my opinion on the matter.
I'm gonna burn in hell. I'm gonna suffer for eternity. There is no begging for mercy.
Because I'm telling you,
it makes me question why Christians ask me that.
Hold on. Because it's so sad how like heavily tied to like Christianity, like racism is and has always been. Like, it's always been prejudiced in nature. Like, I've known this since like I was like very, very young. It's one reason why I was like very heavily turned away from it. Because I'm like, I prayed for things over and over and over and they never happened. Nobody, every single person I know has never had one prayer happen or come true for them at all. I've never seen it happen, and it's one of the saddest things, because it's like when you watch people constantly praying and clinging to things that just, it's not working for you. It will never work, and it's the saddest thing. And the Bible literally keeps you so low leveled that it's like, it'll keep you sitting there being like, well, if I just keep doing it, it's like, you should be putting that kind of energy into something that's actually good for you. You shouldn't be putting all that energy into like the spiritual realm like that. I feel like it's a very disturbing thing. You should attract positive spirits by default. if you're actually in the right wavelength and right state of mind, you would attract positivity in general. But we don't really see that anymore. I'll see people like they'll literally like hallelujah for like the silliest things because they lose so much in life. They'll hallelujah for like simple things like a little parking spot, simple things like a extra like $10. It'll be like the saddest things, and these are like little tactics from like the businesses. They're just trying to like keep you there, and the thing is they're keeping you small, and you're okay with it and you're allowing it, and you reframe it as that was God did that. But no, that's just how the workforce works. It's no different than like giving people small portions of addictive things and substances, foods, drugs, anything along those lines. That's what they do. They give you a small portion of it, and then you think, oh man, I might be able to get some more. But then after a while, you're the one who has to pay out of pocket for it. I think it's one of those sad realities to life that nobody ever wants to talk about because it's very disturbing. But yeah, you can go to pretty much every church in the world, and to some degree they will do that to you. And the thing is, it always has something to do with like the capitalistic system in general, and the capitalistic system is racist. That's just how it is. That's why a lot of Christians are black in the first place. The movie Sinners even talked about that problem and that issue also. And it's one of those things that I feel like we really do need to start doing something about, because it breaks families apart. Like you're letting like people from outside your own family essentially infiltrate your family, make you feel certain things that you normally wouldn't have felt without their influence, and it's destroying families from the inside out. And these days with targeted like ads, there's propaganda all throughout Christianity now. Like we have pastors talking about politics, and people will claim, I hate politics, it's stupid, and they're literally listening to politics. It's the craziest thing, because like they're like, well, I'm Christian and politics are dumb, politics are stupid. But then it's like when you jump on to whatever platform you jump onto to listen to anything Christian related, they put their politics into it. And this is on both sides. It's one of those reasons why I try to stay neutral. I've been trying to stay very neutral, but like at this point I can't stay neutral anymore. It's just too sad. It's like losing people in real time. Like the feeling that you get from like a person passing away, it's literally no different when it's like someone is being indoctrinated by like a radicalization. It's like they think that it's their opinion, they think that it's like their beliefs, but then the reality is you're just afraid of burning in hell for the rest of your life. You don't really share or believe any of those opinions or beliefs or nothing. Like none of it's real. You're just afraid to burn forever. That's the craziest thing. He'll never force himself onto you, but he will make you burn forever if you don't just come over here. That's like someone putting a gun to your face and saying like, you can go wherever you want to go, but you know, if you don't come over here, I'm gonna shoot. So like that's disturbing. Most people are gonna just be like, well, I guess I'm just gonna go hostage then. You're not gonna run away from the guy. He has a gun. He says in the long run, you're gonna feel pain forever. It's like, dog, I'm not, like, of course you're gonna be afraid and you're gonna not go. You're not gonna try to run. You're gonna go right to him. He'll never forsake you. He'll never force himself onto you. But if you don't go with him, he will destroy you still. As some of the saddest stuff that I've ever heard in my life, and teaching kids that is some of the saddest stuff, man.
God will change his mind and be like, you know what?
Because it's like, instead of teaching that, I feel like we should be teaching like more positive things, because there are so many things to religion that can be positive in every way, shape, and form. But like, people always just go out of their way to teach like the nastiest, weirdest, creepiest stuff, and that's one of them. it's like essentially teaching people to freeze up when someone is trying to take advantage of you, basically. Like, the concept of not going to hell is one of the most disgusting ideas that I think I've ever heard in my life. But I'm gonna get back to the video and stop talking so much.
Some real good begging there. So I don't know what to ask me that because
system,
if I find out they're right about everything, I know that's not how it works, so there's no reason to beg. And besides that, I would be way more eager to have an actual conversation with God with so many different things. I could probably ask him an endless list of things, but I would love to say to him, or there's an endless list of things I would love to say to him or ask him.
Yep.
But I will share with you the top topics I would want to discuss with God. These aren't in any particular order, but these are some of my top ones as of now. Number 1, why create a world where truth requires evidence and then reward faith without it? So God apparently created the human mind. Therefore, he knew he created us and our reality in a way where we so often rely on evidence and proof because it's the best way for us to understand the reality around us, right? It's the way we create everything. It's the way we use to progress as a society. It's essentially everything to us. He gave us these brains that heavily rely on evidence, patterns, and consistency. And then why would you call it a virtue to believe without these things? Why design us that way in the first place if it's going to go against us when it comes to getting to the truth, the ultimate truth that is apparently the most important? And what are we getting rewarded for exactly? Going against the brains that you created to function in that specific way is very bizarre to me. It feels like you are rigging the system against us to make it harder for us to get to the conclusion that God is real. So if the ultimate goal, or like the most important thing for humans, is to get to the conclusion that God is real and have a relationship with him, why would you set it up in the way that our human brains rely on evidence and proof for essentially everything? It doesn't make any sense. If you believe God created everything, you do believe that that's how he created our brains, to understand our reality. It's really the only way we can understand
next stream
our
I'm gonna
reality
actually
is by
talk
going off of
about
things like evidence
things
and proof. I
like
can't really
evolution theory. Actually, I want to say that right now. And also, I might be like posting this as like art VOD too, just because like I just want to kind of like I'm gonna actually take that away. Hold up, I'm gonna change the title because I did not know that YouTube did that. Dude, that's so cool. You can pull the sidebar. You can pull the sidebar forward. You know, hear me out, right? I'm not doing that, the atheist 1v1, 1v20 thing. I'm not doing that, bro. Like, I cannot. It was just rage baiting me. And, like, I promise you, because, like, I'm literally... You know... I'm going to put a link in description to the woman speaking in this video also. It's shocking, bro, because like so many people like act like they're not affected in any way, shape, or form by this stuff, and I promise you, I would actually say they're probably the most affected by it. Like, these are people who, like, it's a literal, like, cope. Oh, wow. Did I just really do that? Aww. Give me a second. Give me a second. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I messed it up. Oh. This is just a quick jot. Hello, y'all. Hello. I'm just fixing this. I gotta fix the thing. Put the link for our channel. Alright. There we go. Okay. Alright, there we go. That's good.
another way we go about understanding our reality. If you loved your creation so much, if you loved your children so much, why not make it clear with proof and evidence that you even exist in the first place? So he wants me to go. You wanted me to go.
There's no middle ground
about life depending on proof for
That's
most
why
things.
I'm, like,
For
getting
example,
to a point.
I take medicine because there is proof from
I'm gonna
scientists
say this
that it.
because not all Christians are like terrible or like shitty people or anything. But there is a type of Christian that I'm starting to be like, those people suck, bro. Because I'm starting to feel like there's some weird, like, evil energy coming off of some of them. And that's because they fail to follow the book. It's like you're not even following the book right. Like, you claim that you are, but you're not. I find it to be so sad. I see so many people fall for that, and it's like, yikes. Like, you think you're doing a good job, but it's like you're listening to all the wrong people, and then you're destroying and ruining your family connections and relationships. And that is exactly what it was intended to do. It was intended to separate the family. Like, these people have been doing this for decades. It's literally what the movie Sinners was talking about. Like, this has been a thing, and this has been a problem a very, very long time. And I think that's like it's a very interesting thing to watch, because it never stopped, you know? It never stopped, man. It's disturbing. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking
symptom, whatever.
Sorry.
I don't just have faith in taking random medicine and say, hope it fixes me, because that would be dangerous, and it wouldn't really work usually unless you just happen to pick the right medicine. Instead, I take the medicine that is scientifically proven to work for most people. It's how I stay financially stable. It's another example. I don't just have faith that there's money in my bank account.
That's another thing too. You can try to like come middle ground with some people. There is no like middle grounding with some people, because I promise you, I don't think that this is even just all a Christianity thing. I just think that a lot of people who like follow Christianity have like mental disorders behind following it. Because there's like a really good amount of people who are really sweet and have like, you know, what do they call them? Like the actual sense, like they'll say like just mental disorders kind of. There's a good amount of people who have like mental disorders, and they're like normal and fine, and there's nothing really wrong with them. But then like one thing I'm starting to notice is like there are some people who have like mental disorders that are very like prone to being like racist or even like hating people who are gay. I think like it's a very crazy thing, because back when I was in school, it wasn't like that, I guess. I didn't get to see that kind of stuff. That wasn't something I experienced back then. But like I did experience like kids saying stupid things. But like there is a literal subset of like humans on the internet who like have like mental disorders, and they're all like really racist or really homophobic. And it's kind of funny because it shows you that like whenever people are like that, it's usually because they have like mental imbalances. And I know people who I'm like, dude, I promise you, I think this person has like bipolar disorder. I promise you, it's one of those things. Because like when it's unchecked, when you don't want to check it, dude, that's when it's the worst. When you don't actually want to check it is when it's the worst. Hold on, I text my dad, I gotta check something. My dad doesn't. Hold on. Yeah. 'Cause The movie Sinners, bro. Roddy. Man, my dad is a good man, y'all. I wish both parents was like that. My dad's a good man, bro. I'm gonna really like try to just like let my dad be a dad. Like, of course I have like some boundaries up, but like I'm gonna let my dad be a dad, bro, because like I'm starting to see that he really wants to be a dad. He really wants to be a dad, and I'm starting to understand it now. The thing is, I guess it just scared me a lot in the past because I never understood my stepdad. But growing up, I can literally make an entire video talking about growing up around women and how it damages your brain when you're like a young boy. Because I promise you, bro, like I think I have had a lot of like, I think a lot of my anger issues come from like women. And I'm not even trying to like be like sexist or anything. I promise you, I used to like hate guys because like I heard them hating guys. And that's a very sad thing, but that's like really, that's real. To the point that like to this day, I still kind of hear them like talk like and say bad things about men. And I'm like, I know now that I'm like, I shouldn't feel like that or I shouldn't do that too. But like back then I didn't mentally process that. And the thing is, that's what happens, dog. It's the single mom effect, bro. I promise you, there's so many guys who have that problem. Even, I remember iDubbbz talked about that. He was like, oh, I had a single mom. She just made me real, like, overprotective. And I was always hyper analytical about everything. And I was always just, like, really vulgar and very... I remember him talking about that. And I'm like, let's be honest. Like, that dude was, like, he was really foul. He, you know, said awful and weird stuff. But at the same time, I kind of understand that. And I'm glad that he really talked about that. Because, like, yeah, iDubbbz was a racist, bro. Like, and I got a vibe off of him. I promise you, this is the thing. When I get a vibe off of a person that they are racist, I usually am correct. The thing is, most people who are, like, white are not... They're not like that. They don't give off a vibe like that. I remember when Filthy Frank made like really bad jokes. He could make racist jokes and everything. I remember like even listening to somebody like Iberleezy. His name was really Iberleezy. Wow. When I used to watch like people like Berleezy, he used to always make like really like homophobic sounding jokes. Thing is, I never got the feeling that like I was like, oh yeah, this guy really hates gay people. I never got that feeling, right? But there was something about iDubbbz back then that he gave me an uncomfortable feeling. And I was like, ooh. He doesn't give me that feeling anymore. Like, at all. Like, there was a shift. I remember when he, like, slowed down making content, he stopped giving me that feeling. And that was before he even apologized. I promise you, there's, like, a sense. It's like a spidey sense. You sometimes can just be like, ooh, I don't feel right about that person. And like, so I promise you, it's a crazy thing, bro. I get that sense off of a good amount of people, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm related to people that I get senses like that off of sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I'm like, hey, I love you, your family, I love you, but it's like, ugh, what am I feeling from you? Like, what is this energy right now? Because I'm not saying you're a bad person, but it's like your mindset, you're in like a bad mindset, and I can like feel something from it. Even though you're not outwardly just like being like, I'm bad. It's disgusting. It's odd.
It's actually money in my account and how much there is before making a purchase or paying a bill or whatever it might be. Actually, maybe I'll just start having faith there's $1 million in my bank account and go on a little shopping spree. Example number 3, with our legal system. We are supposed to charge people with a crime when there's evidence that they actually committed the crime. We don't just have faith or that they either did or didn't do the crime. There would be a much lower chance that people actually receive justice. There would be a much lower chance that we would actually get criminals off the street. There would be way more innocent people in prison because we're just basing all of this off of faith. I fly on planes because they are proven to be able to fly in the sky. I don't get into any form of transportation and just say, well, I really have faith that this will fly, so maybe this is the best way to go about it.
No, it's like you go with the
people
best
don't typically do that. Conclusion for my first point, you gave us these brains, you gave us this reality where you know that a majority of what we do is based off of evidence and proof. And you know that. but yet you want us to do something the opposite, where we fight against the brains you gave us and believe something without any proof or evidence. That feels like a setup to me personally. Let's move on to number 2. Now, this kind of ties into number 1, but why is faith the most important thing to you? Because according to many Christians, I know this is the case in evangelicalism, belief in God is the only thing that can save you from hell. So this is the only thing that will save you from a fiery, gruesome punishment you supposedly deserve for being a flawed human being. Why is people acknowledging you the most important thing to you? Why is it not how people treat each other? Why is it not people's intentions? Why is it not the impact they have on the world and the reality you gave us?
Okay.
I try to imagine this in any other situation.
I watched this video last night, and it gave me hope. And I'm going to take my time to flesh this out, because I thought I was losing hope. But this video gave me hope. And it started to remind me that the fact that, like, the people around me, and no disrespect to them, they're stupid and they're shallow and they're very low level. They're not smart. And I am. And I'm not even all that smart. But the thing is, I'm smarter than them. And that's the sad part about it. That's what it started to, like, make me realize. Because I have been the type of person that has always taken risk. I've always taken risk. I've always tried my hardest to get better at everything that I do. Always. I've always wanted to thrive, and I've always wanted to get better. And the people that were around me and that I had in, like, my family even, we have to, as black people, we got to stop trying to save people that are not worth saving. It is still survival of the fittest. Yes, love your family. Yes, systemic racism and oppression is bad. But if your family is holding you back, you need to cut them off and let them fail. I used this analogy on Instagram a little bit earlier in the week, where I said a plant can only stay beautiful if the leaves keep blossoming. But if the old leaves start to die and they start to crumble away, you have to let that happen. You cannot try to be like, wait, well, let's try to save the old leaf. No. In order for a plant to grow and blossom, you need the leaves to keep growing. One day, I'm sure whatever, like, children come from my existence, whatever nieces and nephews come from my existence, whatever fathers and mothers come from my existence, they will even one day look back and be like, wow, I can't believe that's how, like, he was living. I can't believe that's how he saw life. One day they will look back at me as, like, I was a stepping stone in this existence. I'm not here with the idea of being short term and having fun and acting stupid. I don't live selfishly. I live because I want my family to prevail. But the thing is, sometimes you need to make a new family. And I'm perfectly fine with going to a space and going to a place that's better and more comfortable and more safe. And we actually take certain things into account, take care of each other. We listen to each other. We believe each other. Because these are normal things. And in all reality, I'm the kind of person, I want to do that in the future with my new family. And I do want my family to still be black. I don't think it's a black issue or problem. I feel like as people who are black, a lot of us have been indoctrinated and there is no changing them. A lot of them will stay in chains. And if you don't get away, they're going to drag you down with them, because it's crabs in a bucket mentality. That's how it works. And it's sad because you have to thrive. But the thing is, when you're in a lower class system, that kind of stuff can just happen to you sometimes, man. And that's, that's all I'm saying. And but I'm telling you, there was this video that I watched from this woman, And she said, your 20s are not the greatest years of your life. And it really made me think to myself. I was like, what are you talking about? She said most people spend their 20s deconstructing the horrible things that happened in their childhood. Your 20s are the healing point. And it made me kind of understand. I was like, oh, so my 20s is like, this is me deconstructing the BS. The thing is, just wow. Bro, I'm telling you, dude, this is what I said that day.
For a lot of us black people, we try to like save our families. And the thing is, you have to remember, like, natural selection is a thing naturally anyways. If your family members are falling behind, and it's not even like a systemic racism thing, you actually just know that that person is no good. Do not try to save them. Distance yourself from them and protect
I
yourself
used to want to
and
save
protect
them.
your own sanity, and
they're
save
not worth
that love
saving
for
anymore.
your family in the future. And you know, try to find somebody that's like you. Try to find somebody that's black and also wants to have a beautiful black family together. That might just make you feel even better, because like you're literally breeding black excellence into the world.
Yeah.
Now you feel even better about it, because like, yeah, some people had to pass away. Those old leaves had to fall off of the plant, but new leaves sprouted from it.
That is the most beautiful thing I think I've ever said, after like having like somewhat of like a really just bad day and mental breakdown because of like all kinds of like awful things being said to me, because that's what it was. And I want to let this lady speak and then jump on to like a different topic. But I think I actually want to make a video on my main channel where I say, like, I basically do a repeat of like this one video that I saw that made me want to like be here again, because it made me so happy. Bro, it literally, this video says, the title of it is, if you are 18, 29 to 29 years old, please watch this video. And she said it could be easier. She said your 20s are the years that you have to really build yourself as a person. As of right now, I'm going through the hardest things of being that I have to deconstruct my childhood. I have to deconstruct the abuses that I've dealt with. I have to deconstruct the problems that I dealt with. There's a lot of people who they make it to the end of their life cycle. They make it all the way to like 70 and they've never deconstructed a single damn thing. And so they stay low level. They stay in a bully mindset. They stay in a weak mindset. They can't get better. Their body gets worse. They start to depend on pills. They start to depend on outside sources to fix their brain. They depend on false idols. People who claim that they have their best interests but are using them until the fact that they are so mangled that they can't even go on. There are people who are going through that. And it is because this life is not something that is given to you easily. But the thing is, you have to understand how to deconstruct the bad to get the good. And nobody ever teaches you that. But in your 20s, that is when you deconstruct the bad to get the good. And for the first time in my life, I'm starting to realize that. And it's such a beautiful thing. People will say nowadays, they'll be like, oh, you're old, you're unky now, you're unk, bro. Like, no. Our obsession with being teenagers is rooted in the fact that a lot of us really didn't have a good time when we were teenagers. And you never are. A lot of people have this obsession of being like, I wish I could go back and redo it. I wouldn't go back and redo not a single thing. Even the bad experiences that I have had, I feel like to some degree, I feel almost as though those bad or negative experiences are it literally is who I am. It made me me. Because me conquering and coming over those bad scenarios, it literally is the reason I am here. Sorry, I'm not even like doing this video. I was like drawing an apple there, but then it looked like I don't know, like a tooth of like creature, and then I start thinking about like dinosaurs. And this is like a Rathalos beak. It's so crazy how like Rathalos kind of have a beak. You know what I mean? Let me stop doing that. Here, I'm gonna open up some different. I'm gonna open up a little some different. Gonna open up a little some different. But no, seriously though, man, if I don't just watch this video from this lady and stop pausing, I'm gonna stop pausing.
Because
I'll talk
this
about
Christian narrative gets so normalized because it's just God, and when you talk about God, it's like anything goes. There's no standard for God.
There's no,
because they just get to say no matter what he does, it's all good. So there actually is no standard. So I have found it helpful to kind of put this, make a comparison to a human relationship and see how insane it sounds. So I can actually see the whole picture. And I think this will help other people see the whole picture. So if a human prioritizes belief in them over how
I think being
somebody
like atheist
treats
is
other
good
people,
now.
it would feel morally off in any human situation.
I am become
For example,
atheist.
imagine you're dating somebody and they say something like, I will marry you as long as you believe in me. Any other harm you have caused up until now, up until this point, can be looked past because you gave me validation. I wonder what kind of person I would not like that. I would wonder what kind of person they are and if their morals were distorted. I would assume their morals are distorted, because why is validation the most important thing to you and not how you have treated other people?
I can't do this on stream.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. I would also view this as extremely selfish. That's your number one concern, is your validation. You're not concerned with how they interact with the world, what kind of person they are at their core. And I know people will say this is different because it's God. You're comparing it to human relationships and you cannot compare him to humans. Well,
yeah.
Go file a complaint with God, because he's the one who gave me this brain and how I understand reality. And human relationships are the only thing he's given me to compare it to. He's not giving me anything else. So you really can't blame me. And it's also just a thought-stopping cliche to me. I think this is said as a thought-stopping cliche of like, don't really think about what this means in actual relationships. Instead, God is good and it's fine because it's God. So you don't really need to think about it. Well, I'm gonna think about it, so that's how we got here. There really is no other way for me to view it other than egotistical. It seems to be all about him and only him, and when it really comes down to it, everything else can be looked past except if you don't give him validation. And people have told me, oh, it's not about validation, but believing in him, choosing to have a relationship with him, whatever you want to call it, that is about validation. It's not about anything else. That is about validation of validation of something. I don't hear this and think, wow, what a selfless God. Just like if my husband constantly gave me validation, but he treated everybody else like shit, or was a bad person at his core, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with him, because it matters more who he is as a person. I don't care if you believe in me, I don't care if you give me all the validation in the world, because it is a reflection of your character. So that's number 2. Okay, so we're at number 3. If you really wanted a relationship with me, why not show me you exist? Or even a sign that you exist.
It's Jesus!
The reason I am an atheist is because I couldn't find any evidence that God existed. That is what allowed me to be comfortable with saying I'm an atheist. I didn't get hurt by anything. Nothing like crazy happened. I just looked into it. in a more direct way, I tried to find answers, and I was no longer convinced he was real with the evidence and proof I was finding. And there also has been many times when I was a Christian, I used to beg God to show me he was real so I could continue to believing, because at the time it would have been easier. It would have been less strenuous on my relationships. I wouldn't have to reevaluate my entire worldview. I wouldn't have to come to the terms with the fact that, oh, I don't think there's an afterlife. All of that stuff, I wouldn't have to go through all the grieving and the anger and whatever else.
Listen to this.
I could just keep believing
this.
in him, and things could just go the way they had always been going. But
I got, because like I'm telling you, I have to deconstruct
Christians tell me that, and when I say that, Christians tell me that I didn't do it the right way.
My dad said, I asked my dad, I was like, have you seen the movie Sinners? He said, not yet, but I think you would like me to watch it, and I will. That's crazy work.
Or didn't try hard enough. First of all, how the hell would you know that, Brad? You weren't there.
Say about that.
Second of all, I did do that. I did my best. There isn't much I can do beyond that. I'm only capable of doing my best. And if my best wasn't good enough, I think that's a God issue. I did my part by doing the best I possibly could, and that's all I could do. All he had to do was show up. All he had to do was show me that he was real or give me evidence or proof that he was real, and he couldn't even do that. A lot of times when I say this, I cannot tell you the amount of comments I've gotten from people saying, how dare you demand God to prove himself to you? How dare you ask him to show you a sign he's real? What? I'm sorry, what? They'll be like, he doesn't owe you anything. That's an insane thing to say. I think that's an insane thing to say. If someone wants a relationship with you,
God needs to
showing
start
me
praying
they
to
even
me.
exist is below the bare minimum. Below the bare minimum. That's like the very least I could ask of somebody who wants to have a relationship with me. It's so funny to me that people act as if that's too big of an ask. That's way too big of an ask. Sorry, you won't gaslight me into thinking that asking somebody who wants to have a relationship with me, not only that, but somebody who wants my eternal soul. That
I know, right? It's like, so my eternal soul goes to you.
Show me
like,
that they even exist in the first place.
No.
I don't think they realize how insane that is.
Yep.
And I've said stuff like that to people before, and they're like, no, it's still ridiculous that you would ask for him to prove himself to you. No, it isn't.
Oh, I'm on fire.
It isn't.
Oh, I'm on fire again.
It's really freaking hard to have a relationship with someone who you aren't even convinced is real. The fact that that is seen as an egotistical request is just...
I forgot how to play this.
It's wacky. It's cuckoo to me.
Am I going to pass away?
Like giving you my eternal soul on one hand...
I think that's the weirdest thing about.
If you
I'm gonna be so real.
Asking me to
like
show,
I'm gonna be so real
to show me.
Dude, the concept of like the eternal soul thing is that is so weird, bro. Like I'm sorry. I'm like kind of like okay. Calm down. That is so weird. You're telling me a guy I have never met, I'm supposed to be giving my eternal soul to him. And then people tell you, they're like, oh, you're supposed to pray to him for the rest of your soul life. Not life. It doesn't end. That's what it is. That is this. Okay, wait. Whoa, calm down. I'm not going to crash. I'm not going to crash out. I think that's that's a reward. How is that a reward? How is praising calm down. How is praising a monster that tormented you for the rest of your existence, how does that fucking feel good to anybody? No, I'm crashing out. I'm sorry. Wait, don't leave, okay? Don't leave because I'm crashing out, okay? I just need to get this out of my system because I'm hurt. I just need to get this out of my system because I'm really hurt. So you're telling me this fucking entity takes my fucking family from me, fucking causes me to suffer, fucking hurts everybody, kills everybody, and you're gonna tell me that I have to sit there and fucking praise this fucker for the rest of my damn non-life? That's some of the sickest fucking shit I've ever heard of. That book, I don't know who the I don't know who made that damn book, but you have to be like, whoever made that shit is the most sick in the head individual I've ever heard of in my damn life. You get tormented by a entity. You're tormented. You get tormented by this entity for the majority of the time you live, and then you're supposed to be like, oh, I love it. That shit's insane. I'm done. I can't, bro. I'm gonna let her finish the video. You don't understand how frustrating it is to sit back and try to like really like be understanding of that, or even like living around people or living in spaces with people who believe in that stuff, and just hearing them talk about it, like it's like, ooh, y'all are like gone. Y'all are gone. And it's like that weird, whatever the hell that is, did that. Whatever the hell, whoever made that damn book did that. I lose everything that I ever cared about during my life, the people and all, and then you're gonna tell me I need to offer my eternal praise to you. That is the fucking book of fucking masochism or some shit, bro. Like that shit does not make sense to me, and I don't think it ever fucking will. It never will. I'm tired of acting like it makes sense, because it doesn't. It fucking doesn't. It doesn't make sense. That God, fucking, that's not normal. That's not normal. A God that kills babies? A God that fucking murders people and kills babies and causes people to suffer on a day-to-day? A God that can't control the minds of racists and psychopaths that want to run around murdering and killing? A God that'll make somebody get raped or molested in their own family system, and that's a God that you want to praise for all of eternity? That doesn't make any sense to me. And people will sit back and they'll justify it because they have fucking Stockholm syndrome.
Me that you even exist, and then me giving you my eternal soul. These things aren't equal. It seems like a pretty fair ask to me. The bar is in hell when it comes to the standards of this relationship. Once again,
because
it's the thought-stopping cliche of it's God, he can do whatever he wants, and it's good, and no matter what, it's fine, whatever God does. There's no standard at all for
God created all of the pain and the suffering. Created the angels. Created the angel that turned bad. That's an evil, evil man. Yeah, if it's a real God, it's a God that leaves this world to just be. Which, as sad as it is, that makes more sense to me. That makes way more sense to me. If the God that we're supposed to be praising, or we have like some understanding of, is the kind of God that's just like, I just want to see what they all do. He just created us separate and says, I just want to see what they all do. He's still sick. He's still a sick fuck. That's still a sick fuck. This motherfucker, I can't even have people that I loved, man. You don't understand, like, in life, bro, like, when you come from a family system, like, everybody wants to love their family. They want to. I wanted to. My family was everything to me. My mom was everything to me. My siblings were always fucking everything to me. But when I fucking turned into like a teenager and I start understanding more to life, I promise you, that was the first time in my life I was like, holy shit, man. Like, we're being brainwashed, and I can't tell anybody that. I don't care anymore. They're gone now. I fucking lost him. And it's all thanks to that fucking book. It's all thanks to that fucking book. the same fucking mind control they had slaves in, same fucking mind control that they fucking still use overseas. We can see the shit, but people in America are too fucking stupid to do the research. They're fucking dumb! They're so fucking dumb! I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't say they're dumb. Like, I know I shouldn't say they're dumb. They're brainwashed. They're brainwashed, and I've been there too. They're brainwashed, and I've been there too. But I can't keep extending... That's the thing. I can't keep extending forgiveness or grace to these people. I'm not doing it anymore. If somebody will stand on their beliefs, and they will hurt me on purpose, I don't give a fuck about anything they say anymore from now on. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if it's family. I don't give a fuck if it's not family. If somebody tries to carry that belief and they try to bring that stupid shit to me from now on, I just don't fucking care. I'm not trying to keep the peace anymore. They better fucking keep the peace, because I'm tired of having everything be on my shoulders and on my fucking back. It's annoying and it's shitty, and I don't deserve it. All I've ever done was try to be the fucking glue to keep the family together. But the thing is, I was never the fucking glue. I was never the glue. I don't know what I was. But that shit did not work. It didn't work, man. I can't believe that people don't even just look overseas and see what's happening. Like, nobody does it. Like, no one actually does research on, like, anything. In America, like, people are like, well, I just rather just... It's like, dude, no, man. You can't just do fucking research. Like, why can't you just fucking do research on basic things? Try to understand, like, one thing at least. They never try to. You could even try to teach them. You could volunteer to be like, hey, like, look at this. I learned about this. And the book has them so mentally fucked up that, like, they will literally never come out of it. They're stuck. They're gone. They're long, long gone. And I hate saying that. And the worst part is that book, it validates every hateful feeling they have, every stupid, like, irrational fear. That's like if there was a book made to, like, there was a book made saying you gotta spread joy into the world, but you should always hate spiders because spiders are the most dangerous shit out there. When you find out that most spiders are actually, like, very fucking harmless, it's actually kind of crazy. Most spiders literally don't bite people unless you go into their territory. Hence the grass or whatever corner they probably prop themselves up. Most majority of the time, they're in their own spaces, and when you come into their space is usually when they're going to hurt you. And that's the thing. It's because you're in their space scaring them. People will literally, if that was a book, they would literally try to purge all spiders on the planet. They would destroy the fucking planet. Because the book says, oh, well, my irrational fear for the spiders, it's like, it's rational now. Let's destroy everything. It's like, why the fuck are we destroying everything? I think every single person that exists on the planet, whether they're gay, whether they're straight, whether they're bi, whether they're trans, whether they're any fucking thing, I feel like there's a reason they're there. I feel like there's just a fucking reason they're there. Wouldn't exist if there wasn't a reason. I feel like there's some things that are very fucking evil, and we know that. I think everybody knows that. If somebody's a rapist, if someone's a pedophile, we know they're bad. We all know this shit. Why the fuck do people defend fucking pedophilia? What is that shit? Why the fuck do people defend that shit? I have seen Christians for. Ooh. Okay. I have seen Christians be more forgiving to people who are literal rapists and pedophiles over like people who are gay. That is some of the craziest shit I in my life cannot fathom that. I find that to be that is baffling, bro. I find that to be so fucked up. And shit really, like, I remember, like, when, oh my god, man. Back in, like, 2020, man, I think it was 2023. It was, like, late 2023, 2024-ish. I remember the stuff people were saying on Twitter. This was, like, before, this was right when Twitter was turning bad. It was when, like, that Leafy dude came back, and he was, like, saying all that crazy stuff. He was, like, doing the little grift thing to basically get some money and then get off of the internet. That dude did the whole, like, oh, I'm just gonna say bad things about people who are trans. He did that for, like, a solid, I don't know how long. He did that for, like, a solid, I don't know how long, but it was for some months. And it's, like, after that, Twitter just became really weird. Like, it just became really, like, it's, like, now Twitter is literally, like, segregated. It's like as the further we go in life, it's like we all just become more segregated. It's like the weirdest thing. This is what they're doing to us on purpose. They're literally trying to create spaces to where they can segregate us. People were literally making jokes about like being gay being like worse than I can't, bro. Like, I'm supposed to finish this. I'm gonna finish this damn video, bro. I'm gonna stop. Because I'm gonna end up ranting about that for too long. I'm supposed to.
They essentially
I have like 3 videos I'm supposed to be
with
reacting
having
to.
a one-way relationship for your entire life. It doesn't make any sense.
I cannot believe that people
4,
compare
why
that
make
in
your
the,
only
in the
form
slightest.
of communication so incredibly unclear? And before
I'll
Christians say it is clear, Janet, no it isn't. If it were, we wouldn't have 50,000 denominations of Christianity. Also, so many Christians say to me, it's so clear, and then every single one of them says something different about a Bible verse, and then they're like, but it's so clear. Obviously it's not, if you're all reading the same thing and getting different messages from it.
Yeah.
And then each and every one of those people are like, actually, my interpretation is the correct one. It's like, okay.
Oh my god. Twitter is disgusting now. It's so awful. It's like people will literally just like harass you on there now. It's awful. It's so awful. Twitter has become so terrible. There are a lot of like different denominations. I find that to be a crazy thing.
Sure. But seriously, this is your only way of communicating to us, and you choose to do it in the most unclear way possible. That's pretty crazy to me. Why wouldn't you want it to be clear so people couldn't, number one,
I'll also kind of add, because like one thing that I deal with like my people, but they're not really my people, not anymore. I don't claim these fuckers. I shouldn't cuss like that about them, but still, I don't claim these people anymore. They think that like they think like my beliefs of like, oh well, I believe that I don't believe in God because of XYZ. No. I see how much bad comes from like Christianity, and the thing is, there can be some tweaks. That's the sad part. I believe there could be some tweaks to Christianity that could make it a better religion and a better space and a better place. But if we're going to keep teaching kids that they're going to burn forever, which first off is a fucking lie, and then second off, it's disturbing that this is something that is being taught to kids. Because like getting burnt is like one of the most painful like things that you can really feel. That's why they use that. They're using that, and the thing is, I feel like they really did that at one point to people. Like they used to just burn people on stakes, which is so disturbing. Like it's like they found fire. They found fire and just were like, let's just burn people. It's like, ew. It's caveman brain. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm gonna calm down about it, but it's just like, it's so horrible. It could be better, but it's not. And that's because people want to use religion. They want to use it as like a means to just be hateful. I see people nowadays using religion to just be racist. Like, flat out. Like, I understand that. That's one of the ways that it started. I understand that 100%. There are KKK churches like all across America now. This is some disturbing activity. This is disturbing. The fact that, like, I literally am just like, I'm baffled that this is even something that I shouldn't be having my nieces and nephews telling me that people are being racist at their school. I promise you, I did not experience that kind of, like, I just didn't experience that kind of bullying in, like, elementary or middle school, bro. I did not experience that. When I think I experienced the worst, like, oh, I experienced some racism, that was in high school. When I experienced racism, it was in high school. That was the only time I really ever experienced that. That was on my way out, really. But, like, I should not be having people that are in school telling me that there are people being racist at school. It's insane. That means, like, it's, to some degree, people are really just getting worse with this. Like, it's what they're teaching now. It's not even just, like, it's literally being taught through the Bible. So now, they're literally, I bet they're probably teaching that it's a part of Christianity to be racist and to do all of these things. I wouldn't know what they would exactly say, but I would not be surprised if those kids are like, well, I guess I'll just be racist. I could be racist then or whatever. And then they're doing it just because in the back of their mind, the opposite is burning for the rest of eternity. That's literally like the only thing. Yeah, high school, that's the only time I ever really seen, like, really bad stuff like that. Like, dude, there was, oh my god. It was bad. That was bad. That was bad.
Awful atrocities that they have done all throughout history. Why, if you don't want people to, misrepresent you or do awful things in your name, why not make it so clear that there isn't any confusion there? Shouldn't clarity be the top priority for this?
Literally, I bet if I
it
jumped
seems like a
onto
pretty big deal that
even
so
like
many
a
people
game
have
like
been killed
VR
in
chat,
your name.
like even like VR chat, I could jump into VR chat like right now, and I bet you there will be some kid that's in there that's like cussing, either saying something like really racist, saying something homophobic, or saying something prejudiced to some group of people. It'll be something. It'll be one of them. It's like every single kid that plays games now, they're saying something racist. Something. It's like at least one of whatever that category is. It's like every single like group of people in America that's like Christian, they're teaching their kids to be prejudiced in some way. And it's because the parents are listening to other people. They're listening to these racist pastors. They're listening to these prejudiced pastors. They're listening to false idols. And then they're teaching it to the kids. They're literally teaching it to the kids. These are false idols. The Bible literally says, don't praise false idols. And then it's like, now that's the entire industry of what Christianity has become. It's been poisoned. It's been poisoned, man.
Right? And so many awful things have been done in your name. Instead, you make it so unclear that people can essentially make the Bible say whatever they want it to say. I've seen it so many times.
They can.
They just say that it's their specific interpretation. And a lot of these conversations I've had, they typically say things like, oh, I just read it and I had the Holy Spirit, so I know that what I read was correct. Well, what about everybody else who says they had the Holy Spirit in them and they understood it in a different way? It doesn't make any sense. Now, how is that supposed to mean anything to anybody? I don't think
the Holy
it's not gonna
Spirit
work.
is so crazy.
Why not write it yourself? So there are no
There's
issues.
been so many times to where, like, that's been used against me. My mom will be like, you don't even have the Holy Ghost. You don't even have the Holy Ghost. I don't have the Holy Ghost, man. Wowzers. You'll start speaking in tongues and stuff. I feel like they just want to feel special and feel like loved or something. My mom personally told me that the reason she does it, she wants to like be able to bring people back to life. She wants to be able to pray, bring people back to life before they pass away. And I'm like, that is, in the saddest sense, that is the most like innocent and pure-hearted thing that someone can say. And I feel like Christianity takes advantage to people. It takes advantage of people and their most vulnerable like natures and vulnerable states of minds. It's a very, very sad thing, but that's literally, I think, the saddest thing I think I've ever heard somebody say, because I didn't realize that was the reason that she really got into Christianity. I feel like her getting into it was, it's so sad, bro, because it's like, I get it, like, her mom's passed, and it's like, when people like lose someone like that, they don't really know what to believe for the most part. And if your parents believed it, most majority of the times they'll just try to like be like, I'll believe it too. I'm gonna definitely not. I'm definitely gonna not like continue the cycle. I just think it's so sad. I'm telling you, like, Christianity preys on the weak. I just didn't realize that, like, it could turn weak people into such dangerous people like that, because it can hurt some people. Like, some people, like, they're like religious or they're Christian and they're not like bad behind it, but then it's like there are other people who are so delusional about it, they become a pawn. They become like one of the people that are on the front lines. And I feel like that's her. She's willing to try to keep all of her beliefs, be cut off from all of her kids, all of her children, just for such, like, that is sad. I can't even like think. I can't begin to think how that would be like a good thing to even give an attempt to. It's so sad. It's just sad, man. It takes advantage, bro. Like, our parents, bro, our siblings and everybody are being like radicalized politically, and it's all personal attacks on us. So like, while they're being radicalized politically, like, it's in a means to attack us. Like I was saying earlier, they literally just, for me, they think that the only reason that I have my belief systems is because I'm like, oh, well, I'm gay, and I'm gay and I'm proud. I've always said this. I don't identify as gay. I identify as either queer or bi. And that's one of those things. I don't really even identify with it. I don't use words or labels. I don't care for words or labels. I don't think anyone really should use words or labels. But we've been assigned all these words and labels. So these are like labels that I'm like, alright, sure. And then like people will say that, but then I'm like, alright. Thing is, it actually has nothing to do with that. If you take away the script of being queer, or take away the script of being bisexual, or take away the script of any of that shit. Take away that. Take away all of that stuff. At the end of the day, I am sitting here. I am a human being. But once a Christian hears you say you are not straight, you are no longer a fucking human to them. They will treat you like a fucking animal. They don't give a fuck about you anymore. All of a sudden, you are a demon. You're not a person anymore. You're a demon to them. That is the problem. The problem is not the person. It's not the, oh, well, they love the person, hate the... No. You're treating a human being like they're not a fucking human anymore. That is a you problem. It is repulsive. It's disgusting how people do that. Because it's like immediately after you say that, all of a sudden you no longer are real. You're not a real person to them anymore. They're like, I can write everything off that you say just because, well, you said you were gay. Well, you said you were bisexual. It's like, literally, it's some of the craziest shit, dude. It's some of the craziest shit. They will write you off after that. Only Christians do this shit. Only people who are religious do this shit. No normal person that's just walking around in the world does stuff. They don't do that. They walk around, they talk to people, they're normal. But these days, everyone is getting radicalized. That's the craziest thing. Everyone is getting radicalized. Yeah. That's the craziest part. We don't even have, like... we wouldn't even do what they do. We wouldn't even do what they do. We wouldn't even do what they do. Imagine if every person that was like... That's the thing. Every single time any other group of people like tries to do something nice or do something like cool for everybody, it always includes everybody. It's never like inclusive. Or it's never like, no straights allowed. Nobody ever says that. Everyone's like, hey, anybody is allowed here. And then like people who are straight, they'll go into those spaces and be like, you're just trying to turn us gay. You're trying to emasculate me. Ah, ah. It's like, what the fuck? No, we said every and anybody is allowed here. This is why they don't want us even in spaces that they're supposed to be in. This is why I don't trust people like that. I don't trust people like that. Even like for the most part, like even families. For the most part, I operate and I come off pretty normally. I come off pretty like whatever. Most people don't really... I don't know. I can't explain it. It's sad, man. It's sad that like whenever we make stuff, it's like everybody's allowed, but they'll like come into spaces where we'll say everybody's allowed here, and then they'll try to make fun of like us in spaces that we made. I'll give a good example of it in games like VR chat. People will jump onto VR chat, they'll go into like furry spaces and then harass the furries. It's like, dude, this is a furry space. Like, why are you harassing the furries? Like, they're like, ew, you guys are like really furries? You guys are really like that? It's like, yeah, that's kind of what you're here for right now. You just came to the furry space. And matter of fact, most majority of VR chat is made up by furries. It's like most people who are trans, most people who are furry, like, are really good with like technology. This is one reason, and I said this take a little bit ago. I stopped watching troll videos. Yeah, yup. I stopped watching them for that too. I can't. Like, it's just disgusting. It's like, why are y'all harassing people that are already going through things that they don't even want to be going through? Like, they're already going through things at home, and they're literally trying to find like a bit of escapism in like the game, and then you're harassing them and like comparing them to bad people. It's like constantly being compared to bad people in VR chat because it's VR chat, and I feel like that's like one of the saddest things. Dude, I stopped playing it. I find that to be so, like, it's so annoying to me because I had the funnest time. I had the funnest time playing VR chat before the trolls start coming into the game as much as they did. So where like the troll content's not even funny anymore. It was like the first like 3 were it. I'll tell you, the I have phantom pain one was that was hilarious. It was the way the guy said it, and it was the fact that that's a video game at the same time that was funny. But it's like everything else, it's like these people are genuinely just harassing people for being gay. Which I remember I was in the game one time and like I was just minding my own business and this kid like came up to me and he was like, ew, a furry. And I was like, I didn't even do anything to you. He was like, and then he said this to me in response. He was like, oh, well, at least you don't sound gay. I thought you were going to be one of those weirdo ones. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. There was a child that said that. That was a child that said that to me. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, what kind of experience is that? What kind of an experience is that? I was so shocked because I'm like, who taught that kid that? I was so shocked by that. Like, you gotta remember, someone taught him that. I think that's the bizarre part about it.
To me, it seems such an extremely simple task you could have done to make sure there was no confusion. Seems like a pretty simple task for an all-powerful God that would have saved so much suffering, so much misunderstanding, and so much misrepresentation. You'd think for a text that is telling you how to live your entire life, who you are as a God, and about the afterlife and everything, you'd want it to be something everyone could understand the same. That seems like it should be a top priority to me. Also, what about people who can't read? In the past, now?
Dude, I'm gonna be so real. I used to have so much fun playing VR chat. Like, when the game... Well, when I first got my VR headset, I think it was like a year ago. I was actually gonna make a video talking about it. I had so much fun my like first like month in VR chat to the point that like I was so hooked on it to where I was kind of scared that I might get addicted to it. Like, I literally thought, I was like, dude, I might get addicted to this. I'm gonna have to like really calm down and slow down and not play it too much so I don't get too addictive with it. But I'm gonna be so honest, when I jumped into VR chat, I promise you, I was having the funnest time. I did things that were so, like, unnatural to people. They could tell that I had just played it for the first day. And I didn't understand what that meant. I remember, like, having this cat avatar on, right? And, like, while I had... Hold on, let me see this. I had this cat avatar on. And I remember I was, like, pretending I was, like, scratching the carpet. And, like, literally, this dude, like, walked up to me, and he was like, I can tell this is, like, your first day playing the game. And I was like, oh. I'm not even joking. This dude literally came up to me and said that, gave me, like, neck scritches, like, little neck pats, or whatever, and I, like, put my hands up. I was like, no. And then we, like, all bust out laughing. I didn't understand what that meant at the time. I didn't understand the joke or what, but he was literally making like a comment at the fact that like in VR chat nowadays, people don't even like the community is like people that play it. It's like they play the game like it's real life. Like they're afraid to be embarrassed in VR. And it sounds so weird, but it's the truth. They're afraid to be embarrassed in a virtual reality game to the point that, like, they refuse to, like, be silly and have fun. I find that to be really upsetting and, like, really, it's really sad more than anything. Because, like, you should be able to just be as silly as you want to be in a VR game. You wouldn't really think that's bad. But, like, it's because people take it so seriously. Like, there's like different types of VR chat players. Like, some people take it like really serious. I'll be honest, it kind of rubbed off on me. After a while, I did start kind of like chilling out a little bit because I was like, people just think I'm weird. Which is weird. I'm like playing virtual reality to have fun and they think I'm weird in VR. I can't. I literally don't understand that, like, how we got like this as people. It's like we don't even like keep our, like, we don't even keep our innocence anymore. We don't even, like, in a video game, because you gotta really think about it, it is a video game first. Like, that is a video game first and foremost. Oh shoot, did I really? Whoa, what did I do? I might have done the wrong thing with that gold. That's fine. I don't think I needed it. Also, I can get more. But yeah, even if it's real life, yeah. It's like if I want to dance and sing in VR, it's like I want to, like, let me dance and sing then. But like, people will literally, like, they'll walk up to you and they'll just be like, this, like, look at this guy, and it's like, what? Like, we're supposed to be, like, that's literally like the point of it. The point of VR is to, like, jump into it and have fun. That's the saddest part, but I don't know.
How are they supposed to have accessibility to your only form of communication? That seems odd to me, to not make it's accessible to everyone. That doesn't seem to give many people a fair chance at discovering who you are, right? It seems like some people are automatically put at a disadvantage.
It didn't used to be like this.
I'm sure an all-knowing God could have seen that obstacle coming. That, like, an all-knowing God would say, there are going to be so many people throughout the world, throughout different points of history, that aren't even able to read, that don't have access to this book. Maybe I should do something about that so everybody has a chance to know the truth and who I am. Now we're at number 5. I'm not going to talk about this one too extensively because I feel like I mention it a lot, but I still wanted to include it, which is, why is the alternative to believing in you going to heaven? Why is the alternative to believing in you and going to heaven burning in hell for all of eternity? Why are there only those two choices? That is whack. I say this all the time.
That is the reason I turn this on.
If you created the system, if God created the system and everything, then you would have to assume he is the one, God, you, is the one who created the system. And again, for people who always say, well, he originally made hell for Satan and his demons, not human beings.
Don't do that.
But if a God is an all-knowing God, that simply doesn't make sense. If you're an all-knowing God and you make hell, there is no an original purpose you made hell. You made hell knowing exactly what you would use it for, because you are an all-knowing God. So saying, I originally made it for this purpose and then thought, hey, it's here, why not do it for this as well? Doesn't make any sense for an all-knowing God. On top of that, I don't, like, let's not pretend like it would be hard to just create a new system. Like, people act so often, it's so bizarre. They act as if, oh, well, he originally made hell for this, and since it's already here, like, why not throw people in there too? Huh? What? Like, why wouldn't you even consider making a different system than that? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, you would only send people to hell.
I really don't know how to. I really don't remember.
If you thought they deserved to go there, unless you're an unjust God. Like, none of this is adding up.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And we are acting like that wouldn't just be again, for an all-powerful God, it would be the most simple thing for him to do. It wouldn't take any effort. But if I had a partner who said, hey, be in a relationship with me, or I'm going to throw you into this burning house, and then say, it's your choice. You have free will. You make this choice. We would call that abusive, because it is. We know that it is. Again, comparing this to any other type of relationship, you can see how disturbing and messed up it is. Also, to me, it's the equivalent to the free will we would have if a person held a gun to my head and said, you know, you have the choice to either give me your money or I'll kill you. Well, that isn't much of a choice now, is it? The actual definition of free will, when I look it up, doesn't even fit the right definition that Christians go by when it comes to
No. Wait, hold on.
Free will. So, when I see the definition of free will from Oxford Languages, which has always been the one that popped up first for me, is the power of acting without constraint of necessity or fate, the ability to act on one's own discretion. Which, yeah, if there's a threat of hell, then that is acting based on fate, no? Right? It's acting based on fate. If if you have the threat of hell against you, and you're told to make a choice between the two, just like a person holding a gun to your head, do you really have much of a choice? You know the other option is death or suffering or whatever, like extreme suffering, violence, whatever. That's not even the.
If somebody came up to me and they're like, I shouldn't make a joke about that. But I was gonna make a bad joke. Hold on, I'm turning that on. I gotta turn on PAL. I just need to listen to PAL really quickly. So I need like a mid-school. I just need like a break from that. It was like getting me off. Dress up with you, in a gown on too, in a dress on too. That's so stupid, bro. It's still fucking like, there's still so much trauma, man. I still have to unpack. I still say Jesus every once in a while. You know, honestly, they say that's like a bad thing anyways. They say like, you're taking the Lord's name in vain. So it's like, I don't know, man. That's not even that man's name. Like in the Bible, they say it's like Yeshua. So like that would be really, like that's really taking it in vain. Yeshua or Yahweh would really be taking it in vain. Like Jesus is just like some random ass name that somebody created. Like no one, I promise you, that's after the translation. That's not even like real. It's like there's like weird little like actual names for it. Why do I have so much stuff going on? It's like weird
definition of free will. There's a reason why it's not if someone had a gun to their head and they did end up giving up their money, you wouldn't say, well, you had the free will not to give it to me.
It's not free will.
Why didn't you just not give it? Like, huh?
It's not.
What? That's just crazy. That's why we wouldn't even describe the other describe the choice as being
I gotta
an
say
option.
Also,
the other choice
saying like the N-word too is a tick that I gotta stop doing. I don't have the kind of voice for that at all. Like I get it, my skin, I'm brown, whatever. I do not have the voice for it. I feel like when I say it, it sounds wrong. And people over the microphone usually they don't think that I'm black. They usually think I'm anything else. I've been told that too many times. But it's like if you know me from like my channels, you know I always play as black characters. You even have gotten to see me on my other channel. But it's like in terms of what you really can see and what you really can't see, it's like I don't even really like saying those words. But sometimes like if I got jump scared one time in this game, and I promise you I said that word and I was like, what the hell? Like I'm like, why the hell are these words like things that are so heavily tied? They're tied to like your existence after a while. That's the brainwashing of it. I promise you, I think that's the brainwashing of it. I'm not saying like, oh, it's a bad word. I'm just saying more so, I don't have a voice for that at all. I get some people, they say it and they reclaim it and stuff, and it's like, I know, it like in general, a word, it's like, it's one of those words that I'm just like, it has such a like history to it that it's like, I don't know. But like, I feel like when I say it, it sounds wrong.
being an option if it's something like extreme violence or torture or whatever. We wouldn't describe that as free will in any other situation. But again, because this is God, there's no standard at all. Because this is God, we just have to accept this abusive behavior and say that it's good because he could never possibly do anything wrong. So listen, I know it might sound extremely abusive, but he's God. So it's okay.
That coffee's powerful.
And I think this is obviously this is obviously, in my opinion, a tool to use against people. Fear is a powerful tool, and I always say this, and this is a common known thing, that fear is a powerful tool used in religion over and over and over again. And I personally very much believe that Christianity would not be as popular as it is today, and certain religions wouldn't be as popular as it is today if the fear of if fear just wasn't used. It's an effective tool to use against people. Powerful people know this. Manipulative people know this. It's just a known fact that it is the most effective tool to manipulate people to stay in line.
It's sad too because like, even like after she just said that, it kind of made me think of something else. Like even in like interrogations, like if you see like movies where someone's being like, I don't even know if you really call that an interrogation really, but like, sure, let's just say it's interrogation. It's like one of those hostage scenarios where like they take someone hostage and they're like interrogating them. Usually they torture the person. They're like, tell me what I need to know or else I'll torture you. And they torture the person. One of the saddest things about it is that it's just, whoa, that actually kind of jump scared me a little bit. Did not expect that to be that loud. I'm gonna go back. I don't trust this anymore. It's one of those things to where it's like they're literally torturing a person to like get information out of them, but like that's the same logic that like religion does have. It's like burn forever, or like, I don't know. Literally, it's like burn forever, or you know, tell us what we want to know. The thing is, they usually always end up like killing the person anyways. Every single time, so it's like you die anyways. So it's really no different than like interrogations. It's the literal same thing, and I think that's one of the saddest parts about that to me. It's no different, and I feel like it was just a tactic used to do that back then. I'm sure there was many times where like people use like Christianity itself in that way specific, to where they just interrogated someone and then really burned them, but said that like God is telling me to do this to you. I would not be surprised if they were just doing that, because like when you think about witch trials, like that's all it was. The thing is, it's like there was so much like other stuff going on back there. There was so much like foul things happening behind the scenes. Like we would never truly know like what everything was actually going on. And it's crazy that there are people to this day that still defend this. I don't know. It's just baffling to me. It still shocks me to this day. I just noticed that I'm like, hold on, let me.
That can be either to join the religion, to not leave the religion, to not speak out against the religion.
You can't.
Etc.
You can't speak out against it,
okay.
Or you're shown.
So those are basically the only ones I wanted to mention. But I did have some fun ones, last but not least. But kind of least, a couple of unserious things to ask. Well, one of them is serious. Why?
There's so much, yeah.
Why would you make hippos so much cute more and make them certified killers? That seems unfair, to make something so aggressively cute but simultaneously make that animal want to crush my head like a watermelon. That wasn't very cash money of you, God. I don't appreciate it. Number 2, why did you take Steve Irwin away so early? Low-key, it feels really disrespectful to me that you didn't at least let that man live until his 60s. Yet, you kept Donald Trump with us into his 80s so far.
This shit nasty. What in the Peter Piper picked a peck of motherfucking pickled peppers is this shit?
That is really not cool. That is very messed up. I don't appreciate that. I actually resent you for that. That is, that's not cool. But I will end this fake conversation with a compliment. And the compliment is, you really ate when you made guinea pigs. I love guinea pigs so much. They are so cute. They make the cutest noises. They bring so much joy to my life. And I will let you have that. You really did cook with that. You left no crumbs. I love the guinea pig. So
ferrets too.
Thank you. I appreciate that one in this fake conversation. Anyways, that's all for me. I could go on forever, but I gotta stop it somewhere. I'm sure I will make videos in the future.
It wasn't even a ferret. I think someone called me a
badger. I would love to say.
They called me a badger when I was playing with the otter
Let me know in the comments what you would say to God, or question. If you came to face to face with God, it doesn't matter if you're atheist, agnostic, Christian. I would love to read your answer.
I watched this other video because wait a minute, what am I doing? What is up? What is happening right now before I move forward? That's her. What is this? Do that.